A new discovery about how your tax dollars are being spent here in Oklahoma.
We uncovered nearly $100,000 worth of taxpayer money going to promote another state agency head. It's not just State Superintendent Ryan Walters jet-setting across the country with a pricey PR campaign paid for by you to boost his own personal image.
To transgender ideology in our schools.
Nearly a year ago, Fox 25 was first to report your tax dollars are being used to pay a PR firm in Washington, D.C. to book national speaking engagements and television appearances for Walters. After 6 more months of investigating Walters, Fox 25 received an anonymous tip. This time, new claims involving questionable spending at the Oklahoma Department of Tourism. A new open records request revealed thousands of documents and thousands of dollars spent to build the brand of Executive Director Shelley Zumwalt, who stepped down last October. She took the job 2 years prior as the agency reeled from a scandal involving restaurants at state parks, costing the state millions. Zumwalt then pledged transparency to the public.
Our state is one of the most beautiful and unique states in the USA.
What assurance can you give them that you're going to be a good steward of that money and watching it like a hawk?
That's something that's really important to me. Communication, constant communication, giving people the answers before they've asked the question.
Now, new questions as our open records request turned up hundreds of documents detailing efforts and spending through 2 different PR firms. We found tourism budgeted nearly $90,000 to land Zumwalt local and national speaking engagements to build her brand as a leader. It was a strategy they called thought leadership. This email from March 2024 shows one PR firm had already spent more than $23,000 on the effort. And in the next fiscal year, tourism had planned on spending over $65,000 more. Tourism execs also paid a second PR firm nearly $11,000 for a planned video adventure series featuring Zumwalt. Emails in July and August of 2023 make it clear agency leaders want the PR companies to put several other items for tourism on the back burner so that the 2 projects featuring Zumwalt could take priority. Another email calls thought leadership critical. The tourism executive saying, "I want to ensure goals are clear directly from Shelley." Over the next several months, work is full steam ahead on Zumwalt's video series, Your Tax Dollars, going to help nail down the concept, what she would wear, even brainstorming names. One email from a tourism exec saying on the adventure series, she'd like to see a concept that involves the use of her name in the name of the series. The ad agency proposed Shell on Wheels, Shell Yeah, Zooming in with Zoom, and Zoom-a Zoom Zoom. Ultimately, they chose from the Zoom Vault.
Hi, everyone. We are here with Greg, the park manager at Little Sahara, and he is going to make sure we have a fun and safe time.
In the end, none of the documents we have show Zumwalt's adventure series was ever released. But through an open records request, we got 2 of the episodes that were produced.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
The PR teams were also busy finding opportunities to further build her brand and continue positioning Shelley as a thought leader. In December 2023, one PR agency was setting up interviews with local media like Fox 25 to say they were going over every single expense at the agency.
We did zero-based budgeting, which is basically going over every single expense of the agency, like from zero all the way up to, the total budget, and saying, is this necessary? Is this, towards our mission?
But behind the scenes, a different story. Seen months later, a PR company exec assures Zumwalt in text messages they are committed to really being hard asses on the team to get more of this moving. They point out a challenge, being explicitly told to not do any national media outreach. Yet, according to a weekly recap in May, work continued at taxpayer expense, including producing a 12-page pitch deck to use for national outreach. They called it the Zumwalt effect and naming her Oklahoma's change agent. By June of 2024, we see promoting Zumwalt's thought leadership and speaking strategy made up 15% of the outside firm's new budget. That's the same month Governor Stitt issued an executive order banning wasteful spending amid our reporting on Ryan Walters at the State Department of Education. Despite the governor's order, after combing through thousands of documents, Fox 25 found work continuing on Zumwalt's behalf. One PR team giving an update on their efforts to book national speaking engagements and national media pitches for her. You also paid for graphics and presentations to both land those national speaking engagements and for Zumwalt to post on her own social media. The governor's order also didn't affect Walters. In August, Fox 25 reported a $60,000 contract on his PR campaign never stopped. And it still continues.
What we see here is a clear attack to push radical gender ideology.
Among the documents received from the tourism department, we found no evidence the time and taxpayer dollars spent on the thought leadership strategy ever landed any national speaking engagements for Zumwalt before she stepped down last October.
We did reach out to Shelley Zumwalt. She sent us a statement saying, in part, every single action I took as the leader of OTRD was to benefit the state of Oklahoma and the tourism industry. I want to be clear, I am not and will not be running for an elected office, nor have I ever gained any type of financial or professional benefit beyond my state salary. I have faithfully dedicated over a quarter of my life to state service, but I left that over 4 months ago to return to civilian life out of the spotlight. She says, I'm deeply disappointed that my service to our state, for which I am proud, is being distorted and questioned because of a game of political one-upmanship.
As part of our open records request, Fox 25 reviewed thousands of emails, and when turning over the documents to us, tourism officials also provided a blanket statement and said they would have nothing else to say. Here is how that statement reads. The Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department strives to responsibly meet its mandate of promoting the state of Oklahoma following the issuance of the governor's revised executive order 2024-12. OTRD began a review of its marketing and advertising efforts, which revealed a pattern of concerning contractual relationships and expenditures maintained and authorized by prior leadership. These contractual relationships have been addressed, and now, under the direction of new leadership, OTRD will fulfill its obligations to the taxpayers and promote tourism in the state of Oklahoma in a responsible and transparent manner. We've got both of these full statements you can read on OKCFox.com.